welcome to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports on this Friday. Friday morning. What's up, Big E?
I'm doing good. Tony, how are you?
I can't complain. Folks, we are sorry that we have been off the last, week, 2 weeks?
I think we missed last week, yeah.
Missed last week, man. We had our computer go down. Folks, if you ain't got the computer, you can't get work done around here.
No, you cannot.
But my man, EITE, got it done. We had to call our buddy EJ. Yeah. RT came and snuck out the back door. He kind of like brother, man, folks. You're never going to see his face, but you're going to know who he is. That's what we do over here at Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to be back, man.
I'm glad to be back, too. It was, I was kind of upset we didn't get a video up that last week, but we're back now.
But we did start something new, though.
You did.
We started the Robert Jones Coach's Show over at Dell City.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to let us come do it every week, man. So I'm going to try to catch up with him every Tuesday night, folks. Look for it to be out on Thursday morning, and we'll talk about the previous in the game that's coming up. And, folks, I tell you, though, hey, Dell City is probably on cloud nine right now because they just beat who?
Carl Albert Titans.
They beat the Carl Albert Titans. But guess, folks, we ain't going to get into all that because RT wants to come talk about his Titans. You know, he over there licking wounds like a cat. Tell you, licking wounds like a cat because his Titans got beat. But that's okay, folks. We'll talk about them Titans later, though. But, E, what else is on your mind?
Oh, man. I mean, there's a bunch of good games last week. You talk about, last week. Last week was week 2. You got a bunch of good games across 6A, 5A, 4A. I really like these beginning of the season games. You get those out of district, like, matchups that you really like to see. It's really competitive. But, we got one more round of non-district games this week. Then we're in the district next week, and that's where it starts counting.
Well, I know there's some big games, like you said last week, that went on, man. Like I said, you talk about that Carl Albert Dell City game. Yeah. Shocking score, 52-20. I'm kind of shocked about that. But like I said, we'll hold off on that. But I tell you, Stillwater beat Mustang last week. They beat them 32-28. I don't think Stillwater's where they were the last few years. They got a Gundy. Anytime you got a Gundy in the house, you got a chance to do some big things. Both of the dad and the brother both won state championship. The little brother Gundy is trying to do the same thing. His brother never won one, but his dad and his uncle won one. So Stillwater still trying to get that first state championship ring with a Gundy, under the center. But I don't know if it's going to be this year because there's a lot of good teams in the Big 6-8 too. One of the other games, you look at the Dallas Justice over your Choctaw Yellow Jackets. Yeah. What's up with that? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think it was a close game. I wasn't following the game because me and you were at the Carl Albert.
Yeah, we was at a real football game. But I'm sorry, Big E. I'm just giving you a little hell about your gold standard guys over there, boy.
But no, I mean it was a tough game. I think it came down like it was tie game. They had the ball. They had to go the length of the field to win the game, and then they tie the game. And then they end up fumbling the ball at the inside the 10-yard line, and then.
I kind of watched that game, and I tell you right now, man. Anytime you're running that read option, and the quarterback has the ball, and all he has to do is hand it off to the running back, and it was kind of you got a guy back there playing tailback, RJ. That's probably really not a tailback; he's a tight end. But I think their starting tailback went down with a concussion, so he's hurt. And I tell you right now, they're bit by the injury bug. I mean, they're starting offensive lineman, the TCU commit, Cade McConnell. He goes down, man. I think he's going to be out for the rest of the season. And that's going to put a big punch on the Titans. I mean, I'm sorry, on the Yellow Jackets because he's a leader. A kid that's played 3 years, played a little bit as a true freshman. Yeah. Now. You taking him out of the ball game and him being the blind side of steel. And I just tell you, it's going to put a lot of pressure on them, because once you had that whole starting offensive line coming back. Yeah. Now you lose one of your leaders, probably the top-notch kids going to a Power 5 D1 school. So it tells you how good he is to get that kind of scholarship, and you lose him. I don't know what happened. Somebody said kneecap. There ain't no telling. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to get in that. But I tell you, though, that fumble – I'm going to blame the QB. I'm going to keep it 100 because you can't, if you're going to put it in the man's pocket, put it in his pocket. And you want your big back carrying the ball, and you're on the 3-yard line, you want your big back toting it and getting it in there. Sometimes we always can't be the hero. Yeah. Sometimes we got to just be the man. Hey, win the ball game, tie the ball game up, and hey, let's move on to overtime. Yeah. Sometimes you can't do it all. You understand? That's what's wrong with some of these guys. They think they got to, it's a team sports where you got 11 guys on offense and 11 guys on defense.
Yes, sir.
Hey, let's win the ball game. Everybody wins. Even the guys that ain't played and sitting over there cheering for you, they win the ball game. I guarantee that was a long ride home. Lose one of your star players, lose your tailback goes out of concussion, lose your offensive lineman, then you lose the ball game that you could have took the game in overtime. But folks, I ain't gonna jump on all that because we got a lot more stuff to talk about. I'm fired up, folks. If you don't know, we've been off for a week and you ain't got to see my beautiful face. RT calls me ugly, but that's okay. And my mama tells me I'm still cute. But we're gonna talk about the Deer Creek. I tell you right now, Deer Creek is a school that I'm telling you, man, they're down there in Deer Creek partying because they're 2-0, and no one expected them to be 2-0. They got a win over last week over UConn, 35-14, and they're sitting 2-0. And I tell you right now, Deer Creek could be a sleeper. I'm telling you, because people wasn't expecting Deer Creek to probably be right here, and they're sitting right now at 2-0. They beat up on Sophomore. Not saying, hey, Sophomore, he hit me over the head real quick. If I had the ding whammy song, wah, 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 my Sophomore Sabercat, you guys are 0-3. I'm hoping you can get a win because right now you guys got me looking bad. I had y'all going to the playoffs. Y'all might not even make it to the toilet bowl this year. I'm sorry. I just keep it at 100. I hope y'all can get it together over there because I had y'all going and y'all ain't going nowhere yet. But I tell you right now, Deer Creek got it going on, sitting at 2-0. Yep. And hey, that's a big thing. Another upset team that's looking really bad is the Westmore Jaguars. My boy Zoe.
Oh yeah, they got things rolling over there. I mean,
they don't. They don't.
Well, they just beat Sophomore, but I mean,
Sophomore. Come on now.
It's a rivalry.
It's a rivalry game. You got your first win against Sophomore. I mean, but you got beat by Moore, a team that you ain't beaten 20-some years. I mean, come on,
Moore's
Zoe.
A real deal, though.
Who?
Moore.
I will give it to Moore. And folks, I'll give you a shout out real quick. I got a hold of their coach today. He's going to come on with us next week and come on the show. And I'm telling you, man, they got it rolling over there more, man. Hey, they got the quarterback, Denver Wolf. The kid is, I don't know if he might be a sophomore, but he is putting up numbers along with CJ Simon and Marcus Dawkins. Hey, they're doing some big things over there more, man. I can't wait to have that coach on and we get to talk a little bit of, what more Lions got going over, man. He got him rolling and everything. But I tell you right now, they're the king of more because they're going to beat up on Sophomore next week and they're going to own more. They own Westmore. Zoe, he took a beating by those guys, man. Beat them pretty bad. I mean, it was a bad beatdown for Zoe, though. You know what I'm trying to say? Hey, come on, man. But I tell you, that coach has put it together and got things rolling over at Moore. So I'm excited to have him on next week, man, to talk about what he's doing. Because, man, that freshman is an outstanding ball player. And then the quarterback got it rolling. And like I said, that Dawkins kid, man, I mean, that kid's been around. He's played in, that in the league out there at the, Woodson and he's played some big time, football. So he's a good little ball player. What else you got on your mind? What team you looking at?
Jinx versus Union last week.
Woo.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No.
Jinx won 22-0, shut out Union. And I believe Union was ranked above Jinx at the start of the season. Jinx comes out there and proves that they're still the king of 6-8-1.
Well, you talk about that. You talk about Jinx and Union. Jinx goes down that, they get beat by Bigsby, a 6A small school, which we'll talk about them here in a little bit though. But then they go beat up. Then Union comes down and beat up on them. But I think the big powerhouse team in 5A, in the big 6A is going to be Owasso. I think Owasso sitting at 2-0. I think they're the real deal. Broken Arrows down there sitting at 1-2, man. I know they got the new coach, man. He ain't found his groove down yet, and he might not find it, folks. Because I'm telling you right now, when you got an Owasso and you got a Jinx, and then you got and whoever else you got it in the 6A, you got Moore rolling. I'm telling you, Moore is going to find a way to get in the playoffs and got a chance to go far in the playoffs because I looked at them this morning, man. They got some players, man. They got some players. They got some real big time players, though. I'm just talking. We talked about the CJ and we talked about the Doggers kid, but they got some real good players over there. So I'll just tell you right now, man, that big 6A is going to be wide open because Santa Fe, I think they just got their first win last week. They beat up somebody. I think they beat up one of the Edmond teams, which, how Edmond is. They probably should have stayed at one school and maybe they could have won a state championship like they did back in the early 80s, 90s. But, right now, having three different schools. Santa Fe is a good school. They got some good players, but I just tell you, Owasso's the real deal. I got a chance to see them. They got the best receiver in the state, and the Cole Adams kid's the best receiver in the state, folks. I'm telling you, the kid can go. I think he already got a couple Power 5 offers, so the kid can really, really go.
Yeah.
What else you got, Big E? I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Got my granddaughter in the background. She always trying to get on the show. One day we're going to put you on the show, but you ain't ready yet. When you can say your ABCs, you can come join us. But you ain't ready yet, little Ivy. You ain't ready. Folks, I'm off today, man. Me and Big E's getting to get the chance to hang out on a Friday morning.
Yes, sir. Another game, Noble Midwest City. It was close.
Man, talk about that. I don't even want to talk. No, the Bombers played the Noble to 14-12. 14-12.
Yep.
Coach Hall, what you got going on? I know you beat them Titans, but the Titans are down right now. They got kids out with COVID, kids out with colds, kids out with snotty noses. But I'm telling you right now, Coach Hall, we got to get together over there. I'm loving my Bombers, man. My baby girl going to be a Bomber. I'm just telling you, we got to get it rolling, man. We got to get that Bomber tradition back over there rolling. We got too much talent. Because I'm telling you, when I talk about these Dell City Eagles here in a minute, boy, I'm going to get everybody fired up. Because I'm telling you, hey, I ain't an Eagle, and everybody's getting on me because I'm jumping on the Eagles. But, man, the Eagles are the real
They are
deal.
the real deal,
Folks. I'm telling you, Eagles are real deal.
We'll get more into that in a minute. I want to talk about that a little bit, too. But let's jump into some of the other 5A games. Guthrie versus Duncan. Guthrie, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Hey, Guthrie got one game marked on their calendar. You know who that is?
Who's that?
Who you think they got on their calendar?
Carl Albert.
Carl Albert Titans. They want them Titans. They beat the Titans. And right now, everybody think that Carl Albert Titans are down. And this is when, we're going to get it. Hey, people's trying to change homecoming to make it Carl Albert this year. That's how bad it is, They trying to make Carl Albert their homecoming. You hear me? That's crazy. People's like, nah, I don't want to play Piedmont. Put Carl Albert on my schedule. I'm like, what? They think Carl Albert down this year. But hey, when we talk to RT, we're going to find out if Carl Albert's down or not because I'm telling you, they 0-2. Yeah. They can start 0-3 tonight. Shawnee, coming to town. Hey, guess what? Hey, Sexton to bring them boys ready to play ball. You know, he back at home this week. He back in Midwood City.
Oh, yeah.
So he might get a couple kids recruited tonight. That's what Sexton do. Keep it at 100.
Well, yeah. What else? Man, you got me all messed up.
Got you fired up. Hey, baby, I'm rolling now.
Collinsville versus Sky Tooks. Collinsville picking up right where they left off last year. Didn't go as far as they wanted to, but they were a pretty solid team last year. But they get the win 43-7 this past week against Sky Took. Who else? Bishop McGinnis beat up on Bishop Kelly this weekend too. Bishop McGinnis, they're kind of a down year, kind of like Carl Albert this year too. But I mean, they beat up what they call that the Battle of the Bishops.
Battle of the Bishop, Catholic boom. They all out there,
So they end up winning that game. I think that's a pretty good rivalry in 5A. And then Edison Prep beating up on Tulsa Memorial. But yeah, and then Coweta. I think Coweta has a good chance of. I think
Coweta's a team. I think Coweta's a team in 5A this year. I think Carl Albert make a run. Like I said, we'll talk to RT. But like I said, let's break real quick and bring RT because I'm really ready to talk to him, man, to see what he got to say about them Titans, man, and see what they got going. But we'll be back after what?
After one of these sponsors. Right back.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
Man, Dad, our patio is filthy.
Good thing we got our guys at 2 Clean Power Washing to get us covered.
They can take care of your driveway, your patios, and fencing, etc. You can reach those guys at 405-808-7471. Your man, Deshaun Moore. 2 Clean Power Washing. Welcome back to Keep It at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Like I said, on this Friday afternoon, Friday morning, mid-morning, whatever we got going. But, folks, we're going to have a special guest on the phone, man. I know he's ready to talk about his Carl Albert Titans, man, as they sitting at 0-2. And this ain't been like that in a long time. But the last 5 years, they've only lost, 2 ball games, 3 ball games. Right now, they're sitting at 0-2. Hey, welcome to the show, Mr. R.T. Sherman.
What's going on, Tony Big E? Tony, you got jokes early this morning.
Man, I ain't got jokes. I'm just keeping it one. Hey, I was off for a week, so I had all this built in. So now I'm putting it out there, folks. And that's what I do best. I keep it 100. I'm telling you, if I'm not pissing you off, I'm not doing my job. Ain't that right, Big E?
That's right.
So, RT, what's going on, man? Last week, man, I know you had to be sitting in the stands, man, upset. Probably, I mean, I'm surprised I even hear from you this week, man, because the team just got beat down last week, man. I thought Carl Albert stole something from them Dell City Eagles. They got beat down 52-20. What's up with that, RT? Talk to me. What's going on in the CA world?
Well, first things first, Tony. We don't get the blues when we lose. We grin when we win. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
With that all being said, you got to give it up to Coach Jones. You know what I'm saying? It was a big victory from them. For them, I think. Probably one of the biggest ones since they won state championship a while back in the 70s,
Oh, I see what you're trying to say. You kind of say, welcome back, Carter.
Welcome back.
Welcome
back. All jokes aside, I'm proud of the guy, getting his first win and, as the head coach and AD there. So hats off to them. Dell City always, each year, have great athletes to come out. It's just that, they always come up short. But I think this year they got a good chance to make a big run at it, and can't wait to see what they do next year once they move to 5A. But long story short, basically for the first time since 2012, as you said, Carl Abbott starting off 0-2. It's shocking to most people because Carl Abbott has only lost those 3 games in the last 5 years and winning the 5 state championships. But for those who really don't know, last year Carl Abbott graduated 23 of their seniors of their most winningest class coming out of Carl Abbott, with several more transferring out to Choctaw or, Westmore, and a few others, sticking to baseball. So that left Carl Abbott with little depth or no depth at all. But here's the thing. In that game, I'm not sure if you know, against Dale City, they had so many kids out due to injuries. They had the free safety out, weak safety, strong safety, wide receiver, kicker, offensive, defensive lineman, all out due to injuries, and also the COVID protocol. In addition to that, I don't know if you had a chance to interview the kid, Bazell. He had a high ankle sprain. That's why he had limited touches in that game.
Yes, I noticed that. I noticed second half I really didn't see him in it at all. Right.
And that's the reason for it. But, most people see it as a terrible start because they kind of been spoiled, and they're used to the Carl Abbott Titans just dominating. But I see it in a different way. What you probably don't understand is that in the first 3 games, non-conference, Carl Abbott always used this opportunity to develop the younger players and see who's ready to step up for when the game really matters. Speaking of the younger players, first-year quarterback, Reed DeQuazy, he's settling in. He had, I want to say, over 100 yards rushing and more to come. He kind of reminds me similar to the quarterback back in 2012, Stevie Thompson, as far as his running ability. And then you didn't get to see him just yet, but you got the sophomore running back, Xavier Robinson. Yeah. Man, he's really good. And then I'm not sure if you know, there was a tall receiver out there. That kid is only a freshman. I think that his name is Trene. So it's a lot of up and coming stars coming up there at Carl Abbott. So I believe this week against Shawnee, they'll bounce back and do what they did in 2012. In 2012 they started out 1-5, and then they won 8 in a row to win it all.
Yes, sir.
So you know what I'm saying. So winning is in their pedigree, not only on the field but off the field, which is why they have won so many academic championships as well. In addition to that, think about this, Tony and Big E. Head coach at Dale City, head coach at Choctaw, head coach at Shawnee, head coach currently at Carl Abbott, and the ADs at Broken Arrow and Sapulpa. What do they have in common? They all graduated from Carl Abbott. So Carl Abbott's always producing champions on and off the field. So congratulations to everyone, with that CA DNA. It's just championship in their pedigree. So you can save all the homecoming talk. Don't count them guys out. I'm telling you, them coaches know what they're doing. It's the same coaches that only lost 3 games in the last 5 years. So trust and believe. And then you add Dunn, special touch on there with helping the kids, get recruited and getting the other kids to come out that kind of didn't want to play. So, man, I'm telling you, keep sleeping on them. Yeah, we want to be everybody's homecoming. Bring it.
Yeah.
Hey, RT, don't take the homecoming personal, baby. I love to be at people's homecoming because I used to tell people back in the day, I ain't going to say it on there, man. I might get in trouble, man. It is my show, but I might get in trouble. But RT, I tell you right now, though, you're right about that. I've been kind of following Carl Abbott the last couple of weeks. Love Coach Don, man. Known him for a while, man. I tell you, I'm a big Reed DeQuazy fan. I tell you, the kid is going to come out. I think he got to get settled, though. You kind of talked about that. I watched the game last week. Me and Big E was on the sideline. Got a chance to watch the game. The kid got some skills, man. He got a lot of upside, but you got to let him do his thing, though. You know, you got to put him where he's comfortable at. And that's the thing about it, though, man. Quarterback is a hard position to play, man. I would never want my kid to be a quarterback, and he wasn't. But in my next life, I wouldn't want my kid to be a quarterback. I just think they get so much, pressure put on them if the throw's not right. They don't make the right read and all that. I was kind of tough earlier, on a QB. But I'm just saying, I think sometimes, the quarterback don't have to do everything. That's why you got 10 other guys around you. So that's why you got to go out and go play the game. Don't be scared to make the throws. A couple of times last week, Reed had a chance to make a throw, and he's like, man, let it go. And he wouldn't let it go because I think he's scared to make that mistake. And you can't play the game like that, man. I'm going to jump off subject real quick. I'm talking about my little team real quick. Last week, we played against Omogi. Better athletes. They had better athletes than we did. and they came opening kickoff. They take it 80 yards. Our kids kind of quit. And our quarterback, he kind of had that deer in the headlight look, man. And anytime you got that deer in the headlight look, man, it's going to be hard to come out because you know what a deer looks like in the headlight. He's like, and that's what he had that look, So if you're not mentally prepared to play that position, you're never going to succeed at the position. Because, look at the guys like Baker Mayfield. Look at a guy like Kyler Murray. Look at some of these guys that's transferred and left out, and they went to different schools, and they made it. Sometimes you might not fit that. I'll tell you right now, Casey Thompson over at Texas, I'm telling you right now, and I'm Charles Thompson. I was going to call Charles the other day. I'm pissed off as hell. You started as true freshman over my boy that went out and kicked butt in the bowl game. And it was a quarterback battle, and this kid gets in the game last week against Arkansas. He couldn't hit the barn of a bike. He couldn't hit nothing. Casey comes in and takes the team down 3 times the score, and guess what they named Casey starting quarterback? Man, get out of politics, folks. Play the best kid. Quit doing all this BS stuff, man. Play the best kid. That's why I hate about quarterbacks. They always got to look over their shoulder because everybody wants to back up quarterback in always. Sometimes that's not great. Hey, let the kid go do his thing. I tell you, Florida, their quarterback's thrown so many interceptions. Their coach is still playing him. I'm like, pull him, but they're still playing him. But I just tell you, let Reed do his thing. Reed is going to be fine, folks. I'm telling you, I'm still sticking to it. I might be wrong on sophomore, but I'm telling you, Reed's still going to be the 5A player of the year. Ain't nobody showed out. I tell you, though, DLC got a tough game coming this week. RT, what do you think about them going against Bishop McGinnis this week?
I think they can. I think if they take care of business just as they did with the Titans, they'd be just fine. They'd win their second one in a row. It'd be a good look for Carl Albert to kind of, watch that film as they prepare for Bishop McGinnis in a couple of weeks. And by that time, a lot of the Carl Albert starters are out with injuries, are set to return that game. So looking forward to that game. But going back to Reed, man, you got to think about it. You transfer into a new school. You got to learn the entire playbook in a short amount of time. And you got a lot of pressure on you. The kid is one of the best kids I've ever met, 4.0 student. He doesn't want to let anyone down. He wants to get along with everyone. Once he settles in, he will be really good. And to be honest with you, he actually is a heck of a safety.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And a basketball player. He's a true athlete.
True athlete.
Yeah, and
this kid can get on the field over at Choctaw. Man, you telling me?
Well, see, I don't know anything about.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm just talk to Big. You're going to talk to Big E about the gold standard over there. He can tell you more.
He did play a little bit of safety over at Choctaw. I think there's been a couple. He'd rotate in varsity.
Big E, I'm trying to tell you right. He played enough safety. He'd probably be still sitting over there, man. For sure. I'm going to keep it 100 today, Big E, because this Friday, man, and I'm supposed to be in Dallas, and I'm not. I'm over here in the hot box. I named this the hot box now. My whole deal is if he was still over at safety, they wouldn't have brought in 4 new DBs this year. I'm
brought in? What you mean brought in 4 new DBs? What you talking about?
They wasn't there last year, so they brought in 4. I'm just saying they brought in 4 new DBs.
Okay.
I don't know. They might have moved in, drove in. I don't know. I'm just saying they got.
You crazy, Tony?
No, you see, you guys you taking it to another level. I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm just saying they got 4 different starting DBs back there this year. Maybe it's a university. They take charter buses everywhere and do the things they do. So maybe it's a university over there. You can do those things. Hey, I'm keeping it 100 today. You don't get on me, baby. I'm just fired up. Hey, I love it when people bet me money and say, hey, we're going to go win a state championship. Come on, dog. Don't bet me. Don't ever bet against Tony Johnson. That's one thing I learned how to do. What that song say? All I do is win, 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 baby. I'm fired up, RT. What else, man? Let's get off there. Let's talk about something else. So, real quick, you got Guthrie coming to town, or you going to Guthrie in a few weeks? How you feel about Carl Albert and Guthrie? Because right now we're doing the Carl Albert Coaches Show right now.
Oh yeah,
and you're hosting it, RT.
No, sir. Listen. I do not want to step on any of those coaches' toes over there at the Titans. They do an awesome job. I would. You may need to reach out to Coach Cam, man. I don't think that he gets enough credit over there at Carl Albert.
Great coach.
He's your enforcer, but more importantly, man, if you ever sat in some of those pregame speeches, Tony, you will have chills. You will want to strap up the pads and run through the wall. He brings it, man, with that. He's serious, man. He touches the heart of those kids, man. And I think that you should get an opportunity to speak with him and get him on the show, and you'll see what I'm talking about, man. He's really good. He's one of my favorites over there. I like how he connects with those kids. But going into Guthrie, I love seeing the kids play at the old Rock Stadium. That's one of my favorite stadiums in Oklahoma. It has a good history and tradition. Guthrie and Carl Albert always have a good game. Last year, unfortunately, didn't get a chance to play each other due to COVID. And they're off to a great start. They're 3-0. So Carl Albert's looking for the challenge, and Guthrie is looking to continue that streak. But I think we're going to be frying some chicken that day, some bird on the grill or something like that.
Why you going to fry bird on the grill? Why is that? Oh, the Blue Jays. Well, I got you. Oh,
there you go.
Man, you thought I was a blonde for a second. But RT, man, it's always a great pleasure to have you on Keep It 100, folks. RT does a lot for us, man. You guys don't know. He's always behind the scene doing stuff, helping us get stuff set up, man. I love him like a brother. I've known him since he was a 5-year-old young man, and, I mean, he turned out to be an excellent father. Got 2 great sons, man. The son's hurt right now, and he'll be part of that Carl Albert tradition. And I told you guys, and one thing I did get right, and I did tell you Carl Albert lose a couple of games. Did I not say that?
You did say that. Yep.
And I said they will win a state championship. I still got to believe they will win a state championship. I know everybody's high on Coweta and Collinsville, but and Bishop McGinnis, but I mean Coach Dunn and that crew will get it done. I'm just telling you. Hey, they played Del City. Even though the score was 52-20, at one point in time the score was 13 or 14-13. Carl Albert mixed extra point. Should have been 14-14. Still gave Del City a little bit of an edge. Yeah. Like, hey, we got the lead. Hey, Del City is the real deal. I mean, RT, you can speak on that, man. Those guys are huge.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I tell you, Robert Jones gets any play out of that quarterback like he did a little bit last week, and that quarterback keeps getting better and better. It's going to be hard to beat. I'm telling you right now, Bigsby. I'm telling you right now, Stillwater. I'm telling you right now, Choctaw. I'm telling you right now, Sand Springs. Hey, I'm telling you, you better bring your A game because their front line and D line is legit. I mean, they probably got 6 or 7 guys. We're sitting there with the UCO coaches the other night on the sideline. They're like, who's number 12? Who's number this? Who's number 40? And, talking to the Robert Jones, coaches show just the other day, we talked about, number 40, coaches are asking about these kids, man, because hey, man,
monsters.
They're monsters, man. Yeah. They're grown men, and he got them going both ways. A lot of coaches don't want to do that, but I'm going to tell you about playing kids both ways. You got your best athletes on the field at all times.
Not only that, you giving them the opportunity or giving them the platform and stage to showcase their talent so that, it's about playing at the next level and getting that education and that degree. And I think Robert Jones is going to continue the path that, Coach Dunn had going over there. And again, all their roots go back to Coach Rose. That's why I mentioned all of those guys. I mean, those guys as champions on and off the field. So again, congrats to Coach Jones. We joke and play all the time, but I hope they pull it out, and then I'll strongly root against them start next year when they come down to 5A.
Hey, I tell you, 5A gonna be loaded, man. I told you right now, Bishop, McGinnis, and Guthrie and some of them other teams, if you ain't gonna get one this year, you ain't gonna get one next year because when you got Carl Albert and you got Midwest City and you got Del City, all 3 being in 5A, it's gonna be a tough task because like Coach Andy, we had him on a few weeks back. He said, hey, my job is to get all 3 of them. Trying to play on Thanksgiving Eve, and there's a good chance that 2 of them will be playing on Thanksgiving Eve. So it just tells you how strong that 5A is going to be next year, man. It's going to be very successful to see what happens next year because it even takes away from Carl Albert because, they won, 5 in a row, looking for 6. Next year it'd be hard to try to get number 7. So, like I said, hey, RTs, it's always a pleasure to have you coming on the show, man. And I know we're going to link up again here in a couple weeks and have a real sit down and come in the studio. Everybody can see your beautiful face, man. He light-skinned, folks, Hey, I try to tell you, man, the darker the berry, sweeter the juice, but he still think them brothers that look like Billy D. Billy D. Williams.
There you go. Hey, but you know what?
Talk to me, baby.
You said it late, but got it straight. And with that said, you guys have a great day, and we'll be talking to you soon. Go Titans.
All right. Thank you. RT Sherman, folks, I tell you, man, he loves them Titans, and I understand why. He's had his older son go through and win a couple championships, played at Oklahoma State.
It's just the thing about Carl Albert's culture. I mean, all the alumni, like, they're all involved, and I think you're starting to see that a little bit more with Choctaw. I mean, I'll go out to a couple games, and I see a couple of guys that I graduated with. Like, I saw Deshaun the other day at the scrimmage, and then last time I was there, I saw Wes Ziegler. He's up there playing at SWASU. I think it's cool to see that, you got, when you got a program and anything like that. You got something going on like that. I had RT talking to me over by the window. Sorry, but anytime you have a culture or tradition that keeps people coming around, I think that's a really good deal. I mean, it's always good to see, those guys that did it before you. But Carl Iver's been doing it for many, many, many years. I mean, you got guys that are still out there that came from like 20 years ago. But yeah.
Hey, that and what you're saying is you're hitting it right on, hitting it right spot, because it's all built by your tradition of your guys coming back, building that program up, man. Like you said, when guys come back and support the system, if you go watch Carl Iver in the state championship, they'll have 20, 25 guys that played for them at one point in time. No matter what year they graduated, they still come back to support that team that's playing the state championship. And that's what it's all about. That's that brotherhood, man. That's when you lock arms and you walk down the field together. And no matter what, they're always going to be family. And that tradition's strong. My daughter goes to Soldier Creek, and she's building that Titan tradition. She's, just what she told us the other day. I'm going to go to Carl Albert all the way to 9th grade, then I'm going to Midway City. Is that going to happen? Good chance. I mean, I love Coach Maloney and Coach Allison over at Midway City. Shout out to you ladies, man. They do a great job for the Bomber Lady program. I just tell you, though, Coach Allison's got Zoe's shot, not taking nothing from anybody that works with her, but she's got her shot to the point that she's more confident shooting the ball. But, I mean, I want one of my kids to graduate and board a black and gold like me and Jessica did and my brother. So that's me just keeping it 100. I had a daughter graduate from Carl Albert. I had three graduate from Choctaw. So I got to spread my wings all over. But one's going to be a Bomber, though. So there's a good chance Zoe will be. But, folks, we'll be back right after what?
After one of these sponsors.
Keep it at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Hey, Zoe, I'm looking for some good insurance. Do you know anybody?
If you're tired of messing with the general, call Bobby Lewis. He can take care of your cars, house, boats, and even your pets. He has 2 locations, Del City, 4805 Southeast 44th Street. The number is 405-670-3665. And his new location is 1654 South Choctaw Road, Suite 107. Like a good neighbor, Bobby Lewis is there.
Welcome back to Keep It at 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Let's talk about some of the matchups we got going on this week, week 3, the last week of non-district play. So, I mean, of course you want to win these games, but if you're going to lose a game, it's better to lose these games right here because these don't really matter about your playoff seeding and whatnot. But 6A1, I don't know if there's something wrong with Scorder or what, but it only has 3 games listed here.
That's wrong.
Yeah, but so the games that they got listed is Mustang versus Norman at Norman. Norman's 0-2. Mustang got a win. They're sitting at 1-1. I got to see a little bit of Mustang at the Choctaw Mustang scrimmage. They didn't look too bad. They got some athletes. They got one guy, receiver, DB. He's getting recruited pretty heavily by OU. He ended up getting hurt on the first play of the scrimmage at that, so didn't get to see a whole lot of action from him. But hopefully he's back and doing his thing again. But I think Mustang will come out and win this game. I think they're a pretty strong team this year. They look pretty good in that scrimmage. I mean, like that's the only really preview I got to see of them. And then as the week goes on, you only improve.
Yes, sir.
So Norman, I think they're kind of one of those teams. They're in and out. They might have a good year one year, and then they're down, and then they might have another good year. But I think Mustang comes away with the win.
Shout out to Norman, man. Their quarterback. Their receiver that was there last year at Norman. He's up at Oklahoma State. He got his first touchdown. I think it's Goldwyn or something like that. I don't know his last name, but receiver kid looked really, really good, man. Yeah, I thought Presley might be their number 1 receiver, but he's merging on to be OSU's number top receiver. Sure. So shout out to Norman. I mean, you guys putting kids in the D1 level, and Norman's a good program, man. When you split stuff up from Norman North, it kind of hurts way because kids are divided. I got a chance to go to that Norman North game. One of my co-workers, his son's a nose guard for Norman, and I just tell you right now, Norman is kind of down, man. And the quarterback play is not really that great. Not knocking no high school kid, but the quarterback is the most important thing of the football team, man. He's the one that kind of runs the show, and he's the coach on the field. If you can't get that character out of him, man, it's gonna be tough. Not saying the kid's not a QB. I think he's more probably of a running back playing QB, but that might be their best athlete, so that's why he got him there. So
thing about OSU that I really like. I mean, I'm a diehard OU fan. I had some family graduate from there. So it's in the blood, but it's really hard not to root for OSU. And, you talk about these kids all the time. And OSU does a really good job of recruiting in state. So they get a lot of those OK preps, like those, the guys from Oklahoma, it's really hard not to root for them as an OU fan when, those are guys that we had talked to on the show or guys that I had played with or, just guys from the surrounding areas. But, it's really hard not to root for them. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, Bedlam, I'm going to have to root for my Sooners. But I might be cheering on the, Jeff Robertson and Brendan Presley's on the side, just because, I mean, those were guys that, we were watching before they got there.
Yes,
and, so, I really respect OSU's program and doing that and recruiting in state. It's all, I think that's how recruiting should start is in your backyard.
Yes, sir.
I think there's a lot of Oklahoma talent that gets passed up on by, OU and things like that. And that's how OSU picks them up.
Yeah.
Like, OSU sees that they could use them.
Well, Big E
passing up. They're trying to get the 5-star guys in Texas, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it should always start in the backyard first.
Well, Big E, I'm gonna tell you something about Oklahoma State though. They're probably jumping around, man. They're dancing and singing in the streets right now because we got a feeling, So OU's leaving. OU's leaving. Texas leaving. Guess what? They got a chance to win a Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
They might win 3 or 4 in a row.
And I like what the Big 12 has done. Like, they added BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and, oh, man, what's the other one? There was one more. UCF. Or was it UCF?
Man, I don't know.
I don't know. They added a couple American conference teams, and then they added BYU, which was an independent. But I think
you just heard what I said. OSU is singing Lionel Richie. Oh, what a feeling. Dancing in the sun.
But yeah, I heard that there was some talk that OSU might try to get into the Pac-12 or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. Well,
good luck, Gundy. Hope you get your Big 12 championship.
But yeah,
who else we got? Big game
next in 6A1. We got Norman North at UConn. Norman North 2-0. UConn 0-2. I think
Norman North. No, I mean. Norman be 3-0 after the night.
Yeah. UConn, I mean, they haven't really been good in a while.
They still running that triple option, 46 option pitch right.
Yeah,
it's time to get up in the 2000s.
Yeah. And then we got Lawton Mack at Enid.
That's two. I'm telling you right now, whoever goes to the game is gonna get free popcorn.
we just gonna move on with that.
Yes.
All right. We having fun today.
Folks, I'm having a good time. But I'm just telling you, whoever's going to that game is going to get a free bag of popcorn. That's all I got to say.
But moving on, we got 6A2. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The Bishop McGinnis at Dell City.
That's a game you'll probably catch me at the night, folks. You know, I'm not going to wear no red, so I don't have to worry about that. But I love watching Dell City play.
So what you're saying is you're going to wear some green?
I might wear some green.
Green?
Yeah, I mean, Irish, no. Well, I'm just saying that game's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I think Bishop McGinnis got a really good running back in Michael Taffy. They got a great offensive line. Yes, they lose the starting quarterback, Luke the Freak, that we had on the show. Great kid. Yeah. You know, lose him. But I just think Bishop McGinnis could be one of those teams. I'm telling you, this game's a catchy game because Dell City is coming off a big win against Carl Albert. And I'm telling you right now, Bishop McGinnis is trying to set a statement. Hey, you're going to bring excuse my French, you're going to bring your butt to 5A. We're going to let you know what 5A football is all about, though. So, hey, watch that game tonight. I'm going to predict it right now. Dell City 21, Bishop McGinnis 24.
What?
Hey, that's what I do. I keep it 100.
What?
Hey, love you, Coach
after what you saw from Dell City last week.
This is a catch you game. I'm telling you right now, man, this is a tough game right here to play. He said it yesterday in the show.
Repeat that one more time. I want to make sure I heard you correct.
I'm going to tell you right now, on Keeping It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports, coming out of Tony Johnson's mouth. Dell City 21, Bishop McGinnis 24.
You want to put money on it? You said not to be. You said earlier in the show, don't bet against Tony Johnson. I'll put money on it right now.
Okay, we got a steak. We got a chicken steak sandwich or whatever.
At Del Rancho?
Del Rancho, baby. Y'all see that? What we do?
I'm picking Del City to win this game.
Talk to me, E.
35-14.
That's what I'm talking about. Robert Jones, he might be doing the coach's show now. Talk to me. I love it. I love it. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I think that's just a catch game. I just think it is, man. I just think it's tough, man. I mean, it's. I'm telling you right now, Bishop McGinnis got beat by Quita. Quita's not a bad team. I'm telling you, Quita's can be that team that can play Carl Albert. Who's been in Carl Albert's way to get to the state championship every year?
It's been the Bishop McGinnis.
No, I'm talking about for Quita to get to the state championship. It's been Carl Aubrey.
Yeah, it's been Carl
Aubrey has knocked him off.
I misinterpreted your question.
I'm sorry. I said it. I might have said it wrong. I'm talking fast. But I'm saying Carl Aubrey has been in their way. They want to win a state championship. Yeah. Hey, to make a statement to beat Bishop McGinnis like they did, and I watched that game. Yeah. Hey, they were running free. There was nobody touching those guys, man. It was like tag. Nobody could touch them. So I'm telling you, Quita's a tough team. But I'm telling you, tonight's a tough game, though. You're coming off a high, man. You beat a team that you haven't beat it's a rival, man. You got two coaches that know each other, been roommates, lived together. They know everything about each other. It's a chess match. I mean, Robert came and said, hey, man, he wants the onside kick. Boom, he did. Carl Aubrey recovers it. Boom, don't score. Dell City scores. Man, and you got 6 kids out. Not taking up for Carl Aubrey, but he got 6 kids out. But I'm just saying, it's a tough game tonight. So
yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying I still think Dell City will play for a state championship, but tonight's a tough game to play.
All right.
That's just
we'll
me.
See.
All right, what's that?
I'm ready for my chicken sandwich next week.
I got you, baby.
But,
right here on the show.
But next we got Stillwater and Bixby. That'll be an exciting game.
That's a game right there, folks. But I'm going to tell you right now, Bixby's going to beat the brakes off Stillwater. Stillwater ain't got it, man. They just don't have it, man. I know they still running that zombie defense, but I'm just telling you right now, man, you can run that zombie defense. You still ain't going to suppress the kid. He's going to run right by that defense, and I'm just going to keep it real. The only thing that I think that Bixby is struggling on, they got to find a quarter. They're kind of using a two quarterback system. I watched them a couple weeks ago, and they got number 14 and they got number 10. One's a running, one's a passing. Man, I don't like the 2 quarterback. If they're both equal, yeah, but I'm just telling you right now, I just don't think you ever get in the groove as a two quarterback system. Yeah. I know some colleges do it, but I see that tonight, I'm going to say Bixby 35, Stillwater 21. All
right.
You like that one?
I like that one.
Okay.
All right, I like that one.
What we got?
I kind of want to bet against you so I can get another chicken sandwich though. Just to put that out there.
I
don't know.
Folks,
I don't know. Never mind. I don't think. Sorry, Stillwater, but I don't know if y'all have a chance this year against Bixby.
Man, they barely beat Mustang.
Mustang, yeah. I mean, yeah, they're kind of down this year. But moving on, Edison Prep at Booker T. Washington. I think this will be a cakewalk for Booker T.
Starters won't even play the second half. They're ready for Choctaw. They got their game marked right now. I mean, who's going to cover those guys? I watched Dell City play Booker T, and they ran right by him. Yeah. So who does Choctaw got that can cover those guys? I haven't been to a Choctaw game yet. You tell me, because you.
I like. Even though he played a little bit of who.
Lamarion or whatever.
Oh, Lamarion. I think he could. I don't know.
He still ain't covered one of them kids from last week in that Justice game. Yeah. I'm just saying, you ain't gonna be able to cover them. I mean, you got 2 guys, a D1 prospect that's gonna line up, and both was hurt last year, and it's a revenge game. I'm telling you right now, this is a game I ain't gonna talk about because this game is next week. But I'm gonna tell you that game right now. I know you listening to me, Ronnie. I know you're gonna be pissed off what I say, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that game next week, 42-14.
I don't know if it's going to be that bad.
42-14.
I don't know if it's going to be that bad.
You're losing your top offensive
you talking
lineman.
About okay?
You're losing your top offense.
Listen,
hey, we keeping it real. That's what I like.
You're talking about the secondary.
Yes,
but Choctaw's probably got one of the best front 3 in the state.
Dell City's front 4 couldn't slow down Booker T. So what makes you think that Choctaw's going to slow them down?
You got Deshaun Brown.
Deshaun Brown jumps outside every time. Forgive me, folks, but he does. I'm just saying. He's going to get him 45 yards just in penalties alone. I mean, you guys know I'm telling the truth. We keeping it real here. I'm not dogging nobody, but am I right or wrong?
I mean,
am I right or wrong? I mean, come on, man.
No comment.
It's why. Hey, it's easy. All you got to get. Remember that football ball you used to have? You used to do it like that. That's all you got to do. But I'm just saying, Booker T wants this game. Booker T wants this game. This is a game they want. Coach Hall and him are really good friends. And and then you lose 2 Memphis City kids to go to Choctaw, and that's his homeboy. Come on, man, this is a revenge. Everybody know Memphis City and Choctaw don't like each other. I'm just being real here. So you don't think Hall's gonna say, "Hey, man, I don't get to play the Jackets this year, but you do. Can you put a little geek for me?" It's just keeping it real. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's next week.
We'll get on that next week.
We'll talk about.
But I'm just telling you though. What you think the score gonna be?
For Choctaw?
Because the trail is the real deal. If the trail's not playing, Choctaw's in trouble.
If it's just a concussion, there's a possibility he'll be back.
Yeah, but Booker T got 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Latrells that can run with the kid though. You
4.3?
Who?
4.3. They got 4.3 speed.
Are you okay? I'm gonna tell you right now. Latrell got 4.3 speed. He would have had about 4 or 5 offers right now.
It's his size.
Okay, Gabe Johnson was the same size, 150 pounds, and probably ran about a 4.4, and was don't get me started. Don't get me. I'm just saying. But I'm saying, Booker T got 4 guys in the secondary that's gonna go D1.
Okay. Yeah.
So are you gonna? Who's their top receiver that's gonna be that's gonna be able to? Man, we better say this for next week, folks. Hey, we better save this because ain't nobody gonna want to watch the show next week.
I mean, you talking about receiver? I like Jack Smith against him.
Jack Smith. He's not gonna. I'm telling you. You got 4 guys that are going D1.
Tony, did Corbin piss you off? Did Coach Corbin piss you off or something?
Did Corbin piss me off?
I don't know. You talking about these
I'm sitting there saying, I'm just keeping it real. I ain't talked to Corbin in about 3 years. I donated some juice a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Hey, we got a love-hate relationship. That's what we are. We see each other. We might give each other a fist
What about
bump.
Ronnie? Did Ronnie say something?
Man, I ain't seen Ronnie, man, since he gave me that $1,000. Let's keep it real. I mean, what we talking about here? Hey, this is the Tony Johnson Keep It 100 show with Ethan Davis, man. That's what we doing. But no, ain't nobody pissed me off, but we just being real. We talking football now. Yeah. I'm always quiet. I'm always relaxed. But it's time for me to be real, man. Let's be real today. Today is Real Friday. You got me on a Friday. Friday, I get to go crack one open and have a good time. That's where I'm at. It's Jessica's birthday. It's Deshaun's birthday. So I'm about to go spend a little bit of money on people. But no, nobody's pissed me off. I'm just saying, hey, this is where it's at, though. I think Booker T got this game marked. Man, they had Dell City beat 39-26. I'm just saying, I mean, just think about how good, and they went to Dell City, at Dell City with the same type of athletes. You think Charlotte got the same type of athletes?
No.
So the Gentry kid is what? And the number 4, I don't know his name, but I mean, he's getting big time offers. Yeah. They got some guys that can go, and that quarterback looks really good. But I'm gonna tell you, one of the best quarterbacks in the state, ain't nobody talking about, is that Denver Wolf. The kid is the real deal over at Moore. The kid is real. Yeah. I'm telling you, he got good footwork, he got a great attitude, and that's what it's all built there. What you got next, man?
All right, 5A. Let's look. We already talked about that one. Collinsville versus Bartlesville. You got Collinsville playing up to Bartlesville this week, but Bartlesville, Bartlesville, you're kind of a bottom feeder team at 6A too. And then Collinsville is I'd say they're top 3, top 4 in 5A this year. So I think Collinsville will walk away with the win. They'll walk up into a big 6A2 school, and they'll come out with the W. Let's see. A little rivalry game right here. Lawton Eisenhower versus Lawton. Lawton Ike. They got to win this year. I don't know who that was.
If it was cold outside, everybody's gonna get free hot chocolate. There ain't nobody. I mean, come on now. The best team in Lawton is who? I mean, come on. Lawton Ike. Well,
Lawton Mac actually ain't too bad either.
Yeah, they're not bad, but I'm just saying. I mean, either one of those teams, they'd be lucky to get into the playoffs. Lawton. I mean, what's Lawton's record?
Lawton right now 1-1.
1-1. I mean, they're not even gonna make it to the playoffs this year, though, man. I'm just saying. I mean, what I'm doing now is keeping it real. No. I'm not gonna be like these other people. No, let's be real. I mean, it's just time to keep it real. You know, I just don't think either one of those Lawton teams, man. The best thing for them to do is pack up and move up to Duncan or something.
You on one today?
I'm on one today. Hey, they got the real Tony today, man. I mean, I had HR Jesco on me this morning.
Look, you got. Okay.
What we got?
We already talked about it a little bit. Shawnee versus Carl Albert. Somebody's going to get their first win tonight. And I think it's going to be the Titans. I was talking to a volunteer at Catalyst Cornerstone Church, where it's like literally walking distance away from Carl Albert. And we do something called fifth quarter after all the Carl Albert home games. Everybody comes down, hangs out. We have a good time, have some food. Have some a little bit of a church time, Pastor Jonathan Brim over there. That's my guy. So really cool guy. But yeah, if you're a Carl Albert student, you go to the home game, Carl Albert home game. Come hit up fifth quarter. We got one tonight. Starts around 9:30, or really just any time the game ends. Just walk on in. We have a good time. Free food, all that good stuff. But
can I come?
Absolutely. Come by.
Oh, I'm gonna grab me a plate.
Yeah, usually some pizza, but yeah,
hey,
some of that Eagle One pizza. It's pretty good.
Pretty good pizza. But I love it. Carl Albert's gonna get their first win tonight. The Quays is gonna show out tonight. He'll probably have over 150 yards rushing and over 100 yards passing. He's gonna show people what he's all about. Sexton, but this ain't Midwest City Sexton. This ain't Muskogee. So he'll start off 0-3. Great job. I mean, hopefully he can finally get his future job when Coach Hall retires. Love to come back to be Midwest City Bomber, but he'll be 0-3 tonight. But, Coach Dunn, congratulations. You'll get your first win tonight. So The Titans get rolling. I'm saying once they get rolling, that train's not going to slow down, man. I know last year everybody used to give me kind of hell. The train is not stopped. I think it hit a couple bumps the first couple of games, but I think now it's time to get it rolling.
Yeah, but like the point I was trying to make there is, I think Carl Albert fans been spoiled. I mean, they have been spoiled the past few years. You know, I'm talking to a couple of their students, you know, because they know me, they know I got the podcast going, whatever, and they come to me. It's like, what do you think about Carl Albert? And they're like, or I'll ask them. I was like, oh, well, you took the loss, whatever. And then they're like, oh, we're not going to win nothing this year. They're already counting them out.
No.
But
I called it earlier, man. They'll play the state
I think,
championship.
Carl Albert still got a great chance to make the state champion. I mean, they lose 2 games in non-district. Yeah. Like I said earlier, if you're going to lose a couple games, make it those week 1, week 2, week 3 games.
Yes, sir.
Because you know and then you start district play. This will be their last one next week, and then they start playing for something. But yeah, that's all for 5A. That's all.
Hey, real quick before we go to 4A, I want to give Coach Ginn a shout out, man.
Yeah.
You know, give me a Bethel helmet. Right now, he's sitting at 2-0 with his team. Tonight they take on another Little Axe, man. So he'll be sitting at 3-0 before he starts off the district. The guy had a heck of a season last year, and I'll go out and probably see him sometime this year and and talk to him and his team, though, folks. That's what we like. We like those little small town, man. Atmosphere, you know, and I know you think I'm on your Yellow Jackets today. I still got the helmet up there to support. No, I'm not on nobody. I just keep it real though. I mean, I think sometimes everybody want to push everything under the rug and not keep it real. And today I'm just keeping it real. I mean, you caught me on the day that, hey, I'm not Mr. Nice Tony. I'm just being Tony today. So it's nothing that I'm mad at no team and mad at no coach. I mean, my boys are gone. I got a kid at Tinker making more money, probably probably just as much as me now. And I got my other son of wrestling. I got a daughter I'm about to get married. I got another daughter that started a great job. I'm living a fabulous life. I got a granddaughter that's in there making more noise and trying to get her voice on the show. But no, man, I'm having fun though. High school football is high school football. And one of my good friends, RT, said it best when his son was playing at Oklahoma State. Hey, he made his dream. He made it to Division I. Guess what? He could have stayed 2 more years, but why? It's time to go get that degree and make that money. And that's what it's all about, man. Yeah. A lot of everybody don't make it to the pros, man. I mean, and guess what? You beat that body up, and guess what? But, you know, that's what it's all about, man. It's getting that education, the most important thing to me, though.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So, moving on to 4A, we got John Marshall versus Heritage Hall. John Marshall had a pretty strong win last week. Whooped up on somebody, I forget. But
Heritage Hall is a team to beat, though, man. No one's gonna beat them. They'll play for another state championship this year, man. I mean, everybody in that division is playing for second place.
Yeah, yeah. And then Blanchard and Newcastle. That should be a pretty good game.
Good rival game, backyard brawl. Yeah.
And then a guy, Coach Bleak, got McLeod coming to town this week over at Hera. That's a pretty big rivalry over there. They take that pretty seriously over there in Hera and McLeod. You know, both teams are sitting at 1-1 right now, so should be a pretty good game.
Hera get the win, but like I said, we spoke earlier about the McLeod's running back. He's one of the best backs probably in that district and that class. But Coach Blink's done a good job over there at Hera, man. He's done a really, really good job. So they'll get their second win today. And I could see Hera fight to get into the playoffs this year, though, man. They're trying to get that town turned around, man. And like, Andy said, everything on this side of the state is getting hot, from Carl Albert to Choctaw to Hera to Jones, And look at Jones. I mean, they're kind of down right now, man. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the state. And sometimes it ain't all about just having. You got to have people around them. If you ain't got people around you, you're not going to win that many ball games. I mean, Jones just put that new turf field in, and guess what, man? They're sitting at what? I think they're 1-2 right now. I think they lost their first 2, and now they lost to Bethel, then they lost to that Christian school up there in Tulsa. And that I think they won last week against Luther, but I mean, that's Carson May, one of the better quarterbacks in the state. And you're like, he's sitting at 1-2. So Coach Martin to get those guys turned around and going. And you said it best, E, man. You can't say it any better. You can lose those first 2 games, but all that matters is when you get in the district and get that home field advantage. That's what it's all about, man. You don't want to go on the road to play your first game, but if you get those first 2 at home, man, it's easy kicking. And guess what? You get to play on Thanksgiving Eve.
Yes,
That's
sir.
What I like. Talk to me.
Yeah, and then moving on to 3A, you just mentioned it, Bethel versus Little Axe. Bethel sitting at 2-0. Little Axe, they've never really been that good. Both of my parents went to Little Axe, and they weren't even good then. So you're talking about...
You got your old high school coach over there.
Coach Fearborn, yeah. He's trying to turn things around over there, but, I mean, it's hard, at a small school, and, you only got, like...
12 kids.
Yeah, he only got like maybe 20 kids on the team. It's hard to get stuff turned around.
Well,
but
you might try to get in Class A then, brother.
Yeah,
but right now you struggling. Was that 3A?
3A. Yeah.
And Little Axe sits out this weird where it kind of sits as kind of between Norman.
Yeah, it's between Norman and like
Tecumseh and all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird. So I mean, it's kind of bringing people in to come in. It's not like there's a town that building houses every day. So that's a tough job. But man, Philborn, hang in there, man. Hopefully you can get your dream job.
Yeah. Moving on. Well, is there anything else? Verdigris versus Victory Christian.
Victory Christian's who got
about Jones?
Yeah, Jones
gotcha.
last week, yeah.
And then Holland Hall and Metro Christian. I think that'll be a pretty good game in 3A this week. Holland Hall, I think they're the ones that won the state championship in 3A last year.
Is that both of those private schools?
Yeah.
You think those kids drink before the game?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, just...
What does that mean? Like,
well, it's everybody say those private kids, the private schools, man. I always wanted to know that, man. Because I know when we.
I don't know. I never went. I mean, I went to private school for 1 year, but
the games, man. You tell me y'all didn't drink before the games. When you played, but none of your friends drank before the game. Let's keep it 100.
I ain't rat nobody out.
Hey, they're out of school now. You can tell.
No, I'm just playing. I didn't know of anybody drinking before.
I always wondered if kids drink before the games. Look, parents tailgate before the game, so I'm like, hey, let's go with Johnny's house.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
What's that?
But kids pregame before the games.
I bet they do. Yeah. I bet they do.
Zoe,
I'm gonna watch you, girl.
I personally didn't know of any.
But
I wasn't one of those
kids
people
that
either.
are always privileged, been like they don't do nothing wrong. Those are the baddest kids. My little niece and nephew go to private schools, man. And I know, man. No, that was good. That was just a joke, folks. I hope they don't drink before the game.
We don't promote that.
No, we don't.
No.
Well, a little bit I do. I work for. My boss asked me that. Why you don't ever talk about us? I said, but boss, this is a high school. But it is what it is. We just support Sparking Ice.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to 2A. Man, I forget how big these smaller classes are. We got Millwood versus Clinton. Millwood's sitting at 0-1. Yeah, that'll be a good game. Clinton sitting at 1-1. Millwood sitting at 0-1. But Millwood's one of those teams where they always find ways to win.
Where's the game at?
It's at Clinton.
Well, it might be tough for Millwood because they take one of them Oklahoma City bus where there ain't no AC in it. I'm just saying, poor guy, that's a long drive, man. I'm telling you, that's a tough drive, man. But Clinton will probably be the team that's gonna pull that one out.
Yeah. I think so too.
Folks, I'm on one today.
Yes, you are.
It's Friday, Biggie.
What? It is pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie. You got me having a good time over here. Christian Heritage versus Mount St. Mary. Another private school.
What they're doing before the game.
Oh man. Hennessy versus Crooked Oak. I just bring this up because I had a good friend. He played at Hennessy for a little bit, and then he coached at Crooked Oak last year, and now he's at UConn, I believe. He's at UConn. Bryson Hunt.
Yeah, Bryson.
Yeah, graduated played a couple years with him at Chalkton. Then he moved back in with his mom at Hennessy. She's an administrator, teacher out there, so he moved back out there. His mom finished up out there at Hennessy, but Crooked Oak's pretty good. For one of those smaller Oklahoma City schools.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so I got a friend of mine out there playing basketball. Hopefully, we can talk to him once basketball season rolls around. But yeah, I think that should be a pretty decent game. And then I think that's about it, unless we wanted to talk about like the 9-man.
No, we'll talk about that when we get closer to the playoffs. I'll tell you, Big E, man, it's been a great show, man. I had a good time. Anytime you can get
this is
RT
probably the most fun I've ever had on the show.
I tell you, anytime you get RT to come on the show, man, he just brings that extra energy out of you, man. And I think I might have tickled his bowl when I said homecoming, but hey, that's what I do here. We keep it 100, man, folks. And no one ever take nothing personal. What we do, we have fun because it's all about fun. I'm not like any other sports writer or whatever. We get to have fun in here. And the only thing that I can really, really say about keeping it 100 Oklahoma High School sport, we get to have fun. I get to talk to many different high school coaches. I'm never going to dog a high school coach because that's their job. That's their deal. So many things. I hear so much stuff that I probably can put on this station and say stuff, but half the stuff it might be bonus and not true. But I'll tell you though, it's fun having getting to work with you, getting back on the camera and doing our thing. But we will be doing the Coach Jones show at least once a week, and hopefully we can get something set up with Carl Albert. I love to do something with Mill City. And even Westmore, I know Zoe, you're down 1 and 2 right now and get things turned around over there. But hey, we got a lot of great more weeks of football to talk football. We'll have RT in the studio. and everybody can see who he is. And I mean, I'm telling you, he helps us a lot, folks. He really does. Any closing words before we get out of here?
Just make sure that y'all are, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting. We love to hear y'all's feedback. Hit us up on Twitter.
Even if it's good or bad, 'cause I know a lot of y'all going to come out to me next week.
But even if it's good or bad, you can hit up Tony on Twitter at what?
High Keeping.
Yep.
And you can hit me up, and you can also catch me on that Quick Clinic. And folks, that's what it's all about, man. Send us a little deal. Hey, tell us who's some of the top players out in the state, though.
For sure.
We'll work on that. Who's been the top QBs. Like I said, I see some kids, and I see kids. I'm really excited about talking to the Moore coach next week, man. I'm really
for sure. That would be fun.
Him. I think that'd be fun to hear what he got to say and what he's done to get that program turned around. Because, like I said, they are the king of Moore. And next week, they get to play sophomore, so that'd be really good, him going into the sophomore, going and talking about, him being the king of Moore.
Yeah, and then you can follow me on Twitter at Ethan_Z_Davis. You can follow me. You can hit me up. Any questions, anything you want to talk to me about, I'm all for it. Then make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. I think we're at like 125 subscribers now. We keep growing. I mean, thank you to everybody that's subscribed and tunes in every week. We really appreciate it.
And if if you want to get your name out on our sponsorship, man, just let us know. Shoot us an ad, and like I said, and we'll get your name out there. Anybody that's trying to grow their business, that's what we're here for, to help you support yourself, man. Like I said, me and he don't make a dime on this. We spend money on this, man. I had to go get a new Mac computer, so I'll tell you that. So if you want to donate some money to keep it 100, hey, we'll take that too, though. But no, thanks for everybody that watches, and stay and follow us on Twitter and all that, man. We appreciate everything that you do for the show.
Yep. And with that being said, we'll see y'all next week. So
thanks for watching. What?
Keep it 100 Oklahoma High School Sports.
See ya.